Why is there diet culture on the parking meters? Why do we have on the parking meters, sometimes I diet, don't feed me on the following holidays? Why are we promoting fat phobia and diet culture even on the parking meters in LA? It gets to a point. It really does get to a point. This is an issue and this needs to be fixed. West Hollywood, this is actually disgusting. Oh, y'all thought it was just on one parking meter? No. It is on every single parking meter over here. I was just on Melrose and now I'm on Santa Monica Boulevard, and guess what? It's over here and over here. And now I'm on Sunset Plaza, and guess what? It's also over here by the Oppenheim Group over here. And it's also over here, right across from Skims, who does, by the way, make a 4X. So, of course, I would go into the store and expect they would have the 4X that they make. Let's go back to Melrose. Over here, right in front of Lululemon. And this is the one I was at the first time. They are literally everywhere. So do with that what you will.
Okay, Samyra, girl, I love you. I love you, damn. But, girl, it's our fault. It's our fault. Like, I'm not even trying to be one of them. I swear to God, I love you, girl, for real. But we gotta take some of the blame too on why our big ass sizes is not in the store. I didn't mean to say all that, but literally, y'all, I just don't want to keep seeing my girl on here arguing down the fact that we don't have fat clothes when we the reason why they gotta extend the clothes size. We out of hand.
Okay, I have a little thoughts about the girl Samyra, the girl who goes into stores and she looks for the plus size clothing. Okay, so I don't think I've really ever heard anybody say this factor about her is I feel like she gets more upset that these stores, it's not that they don't have plus size clothing, is that they don't have her size clothing. So I started watching a few videos of her because I did watch her when she first blew up, and I kind of liked that she would call out these stores like, hey, you don't have plus size areas. But later on through her content, these stores do have plus size. They just don't have 4X to 5X and up. And in her video, she was going to stores that I shop at all the time. And I feel like I am an average plus size girly. Like, I am not skinny by any means, but I'm not who, like, you remember when Sienna Mae used to jiggle her stomach and be like, I'm so big, girls with tummy, and she was skinny. I'm not like that. I feel like I am an average plus size girl, 1X to 2X, over 200, and I shop at these stores very comfortably and fine. Like, a lot of these stores do have plus size options, but I feel like what really upsets Samyra is they don't have her size. But what she doesn't realize is 4X to 5X is not the average plus size person. And I think she's not seeing that. And I fear a lot of her supporters are more the 4X to 5X girly. So they're only thinking from their standpoint. They're not thinking from the average size plus size girls who range from 180 to 220. Like, okay, so, for example, Aloe. She goes to places like Aloe, Lululemon, Hollister, Aeropostale, Forever 21. All those stores have plus size clothing, up to 2X clothing. And I'm about to show y'all my body type and how I shop. If they don't have 1X, 2X will usually fit really good. And the thing is you cannot have 4X, 5X if those people are not coming into your store. To be realistic, how many 4X, 5X girlies are going into those stores? Not a lot of them. So they have those sizes, but they always tell her, oh, they're online. Because, to be honest, that is where a lot of those size girlies shop. I promise you, my mom is a 4X girl. She shops online. That is where, and I get it, Samyra. Like, a girly like you likes to go into the shop. That's fine. But we can't, I get what they're saying. They cannot cater to the 1% like that. And I get it. A lot of America is fat, but not 4X, 5X. Like, I'm saying, not most of the plus size is not 4X, 5X girlies. And I feel like that narrative that it is kind of insane. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, like, the girl just posted the other day, she bought 2X clothing and it was baggy on her. I don't know if people are realizing this, but they are making every size clothing bigger. So like an average XL 5 years ago, like that was like a 3XL, if that makes sense. So like they are making these clothes bigger. They're honestly just making them bigger and then keeping the XXL, like, you know, XL, XXL on them. Like, but I feel like she wants them to cater to the 4X, 5X girlies in all these stores, but that's just not realistic because those aren't the girls coming into those stores. Right? But you go into Torrid, Lane Bryant, those things, those are the stores that the girlies, that the 4X, 5X girlies are going to. So I think it would actually be more effective for her to go into those stores and harass and question them of why their clothes aren't cute. She needs to go and start calling out these plus size stores and figuring out, why are y'all not having cute clothes in here? These are for the 4, 5X, 6X girlies. So why are all your clothes ugly? That's what I feel like she needs to do with her content. I don't think she needs to go into the store, because these stores, realistically, they do have their size and they do have plus size areas. Like she went into Target. She went to Target. That's plus size girl dream. I love Target. I get so much of my clothes from Target because I feel like they do cater to the plus size girlies. And I just like, and so when she went in there and she was like, y'all don't cater to the plus size, like y'all are lying. Like those are big words to use with how big her platform is, because they do cater to plus size. They just don't cater to the 1% of plus size, which is 4 to 5X. And you don't argue with me, that is the 1%. Like this whole narrative of all plus size girlies wear 3X and up is not like that. Like there are so many average size plus size girlies who shop at all those stores with no issue. It's just, I feel like she's just upset. Yeah, but like I said, not a lot of 4X, 5X girlies even shop in store. And I know that because I used to be like that. I was never that size, but I was bigger than this. And honestly, I didn't like to even shop in the store. I wanted to go online. And I feel like that's where a lot of plus size girlies shop anyway. So that's why a lot of those sizes are online to begin with. But I'm pretty sure all stores want to make money. I'm pretty sure if they were getting 4X, 5X sales constantly, and that's what they were known for, they would have all those sizes up there, but they're not. So I feel like things like she should be going into these plus size stores, hounding them, saying, hey, why are these clothes ugly as fuck? Why don't we have cute plus size clothes? Why are y'all not getting cute but instead she's going into the skinny places that do cater to plus size girlies too. They just don't. You okay? Okay. They just don't cater to the like super plus size girls. But they have them online, so they do have the sizes. But yeah, that's my little opinion. Oh, and real quick to show you, I'm compacted. I'm only 5'4", 1X to 2X. I go Aloe, Target, all that. This is actually, I think PacSun or something. I got it. Oh, Aerie. It's Aerie, the Outline, the new offline store. But yes, they do cater to the plus size girls, bro. This is a 2X. Both of these are 2X outfits. And look. I am not no little thing at all.
I want to know what I think. I think Samyra just be playing. I really don't think she's serious when she's making these videos. I just saw a video pop up on my FYP, and she was talking about, are we not allowed to vote? As in, like, big people. Are big people not allowed to vote? And I just feel like she's rage baiting y'all. Come on now. The same way that she rage baited y'all with the parking meter. Y'all don't think that she knew that they didn't mean it that way? Of course she knew that. Y'all think that she didn't know that, and that's how her content blows up. And nobody's really gonna check Samyra on making this kind of content because she is a bigger woman. Now, if she was smaller, then y'all would be like, why are you always talking about this and da-da-da-da. But because since she is a bigger woman, y'all think that she be trying to like advocate for bigger women and things like that. Not saying that she's not, but a lot of the times she's just rage baiting. And if y'all don't see that, y'all are the slow ones. She makes her content, she gets y'all in an uproar, and that's how she makes her money on TikTok.
And another thing, Samyra, big bookie butt, like, I just want to tell you, it was never that serious. You sitting up here talking about everybody fatphobic, you need federal protection, blase. Girl, what is you talking about? You mad at the people them because the people them being real with you? What? It's irritating to me because she doing more complaining than anything. Like, honey boo boo child, you need to do some self-reflection. Ain't nobody sit up here and force you to be a 17 triple XL. That was your doing. And my thing is, you really have the platform to make a difference for the plus size girlies. And yet all you doing is crying a river into a chocolate chip milkshake. I don't see you advocating for world hunger. You advocating to the world about why you so hungry. In all my years of living on this earth, I ain't never seen nobody ask for no seatbelt extender. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know planes had that shit till you came in the picture. Ain't you mad because most planes don't come equipped with that? Most people aren't expected to get that big. Ain't nobody being fatphobic. We being honest. We looking at the bigger picture. And that shit bigger than a mother. No shade, I ain't no skinny meanie myself, but baby, you would not last back in the days because realistically wasn't nobody supposed to be even an XL, honey. Like, come on, if you can't fit the main 5 sizes, extra small, medium, large, extra large, you really need to sit back and observe. And I commented on one of her posts before, whatever, and then she fucking took all the comments down, did her little hiatus. Baby, you came back and you still high and fat. It's one thing to be big, and it's one thing to be an unhealthy level of big. Honey, we just looking out for you. That's it. That's all. You're a beautiful girl, beautiful soul. I love that little one song you did, Big Back Bitches Go to the Back, or whatever you said, girl. I love that shit. Like, come on, you can really do this one thing. Stop complaining about shit that nobody give a fuck about. Ain't nobody put you in that position, baby. You ate your way there. Relax.
At this point, I feel like everybody's seen the whole Samyra discourse, and it's so unfortunate to see somebody who is so educated and so smart not be able to pivot into a more positive way of doing things. Because at this point, you know what to expect from these videos, right? Like, it's negativity. It's negative every single time. It's like you're going into a store, they either don't offer extended sizes in store, or they don't have one, you know, to fit you or your body, and then it turns into, well, this is XYZ, this is blah, 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 bash. Who wants to keep consuming that? Who wants to keep seeing that? Especially when you have so much more to offer. I just feel like she's doing a disservice to herself.
The parking meter video is straight insecurity, and she tries to portray herself as a very confident person and always try to use books as her backup, but I feel like we just really saw how insecure she truly is. People who are miserable find an issue with everything, even if it doesn't attribute to them. They will find a way to attribute it to themselves and make it a problem. She says the sticker was fatphobic and talking about dieting is fatphobic, but that's not true. Dieting culture is inherently fatphobic. Diet by itself is just restrictive eating, and there's nothing wrong with dieting. Dieting culture over here is the extreme end of that. The term feed the meter has been around since the 1930s, and you say feed the meter because the meter eats the coins. Now saying I'm dieting on these days, saying that the holidays you don't have to pay, is literally just talking about free parking, and she tried to find a way to attribute it to herself because she's insecure about how much she weighs. If you scroll through the comments on all the videos talking about this, you'll see a lot of bigger girls saying, yeah, I'm a bigger girl and I saw this sticker and it didn't bother me at all, because why would a parking meter make me feel some type of way about myself or my weight when I'm comfortable with my weight? And I think that's the entire point. If you're comfortable with yourself, you're not going to find a problem or look for a problem. But when you're not comfortable with yourself, you're always going to be able to find a problem. I feel like she needs to take a beat and realize that the reason she felt some type of way about that sticker is because she feels some type of way about herself. And once we get to that point of realization, that's when the change starts to happen. But this was definitely an interesting situation to see unfold on the media.
I know you really want to be offended, but let's take 1 second to critical think. This parking meter is a play on words. It's saying don't feed me, aka don't put coins in me, because parking is free on holidays. And it's so clear that she's just being offended because she wants to be offended. Diet culture does not equal fat phobia. Real body positivity is loving it no matter what. It doesn't matter the size, it doesn't matter the shape, it doesn't matter the condition, and also respecting others to do the same. And again, real body positivity is if someone else wants to lose weight, you respect their decision as well. Oh, what is the saying? Misery loves company. That's why she uploaded this video. She was hoping to get us all riled up. Like, how privileged of a life do you have to live for this to be a pressing issue in your world?
Samyra, baby, give it up. First of all, Samyra blocked me when I told her to mind her business when it came to Cardi B and her fans, when she was beefing with Cardi B a couple months ago before she took this break off the internet, to just come back on here and talk about parking meters are fatphobic because somebody put a sticker on the parking meter in West Hollywood that said I'm taking a diet or something, I'm taking an eating break, or I'm on a diet for the holidays. Whatever the parking meter said, she then took her camera out and filmed herself talking about we got to stop with the fatphobia because why? Girl, it's a parking meter. And there's a term called feeding the meter. I knew about feeding the meter, the term of it all, when I was like 5 or 6. You got to feed the meter. It's just a joke. Like, girl, nobody is attacking you because you don't want to go to diet or you're a big girl. Who cares? Nobody cares. You care. And you blocked me. I shouldn't be seeing you down the timeline still getting eaten up after you took this break when your mama came on here and was crying about it. Like, girl, I am convinced that Samyra is doing this for rage baiting because there ain't no way in her logical mind she thought it made sense to take a video of a parking meter in West Hollywood to talk about how it was fatphobic because a sticker was posted that said, I'm on a diet for the holidays. There ain't no damn way. Now, you might have blocked me, but you ain't blocked this mouth, and I'm going to talk about it. Because I'm confused. Somebody get this girl help. I need her to... Somebody call Ayala. Is she on here? Somebody send this to her. Tag them both.
Her point didn't land because it's rooted in insecurity. The point, which I understand, would have been fine if she would have attached it to something other than the parking meter. She used the sticker as a standalone instead of using it in context with the parking meter to prove her point, which then disproved her point. If that sticker was found anywhere else, a grocery store, a clothing shop, inside of a fitting room, it would be so harmful and inappropriate to place that in there. But in the context of the parking meter, which you feed coins, it makes sense for the sticker to be on the meter. Which is why her point doesn't land, because if you're looking at a parking meter and being like, wow, this object just made me feel bad about myself, then you have some deeply rooted insecurities that you need to resolve. And I know that there's a group of people that are susceptible to really small things, and I fully understand that. But I don't think broadcasting things that they would never see that you think is inherently harmful is helping. I don't think it's advocating. I think it's rage bait. And I think that's why her point doesn't stand, because she's trying to rage bait people.
This video is for Samyra. And before I get started, I just want to let y'all know I'm not fatphobic at all. I am a previous plus size girl and I'm still pretty thick if you ask me. But I just have some questions. And so I get the point of your content. I do. We're here with it. You're trying to bring awareness that these companies are not servicing plus size women as they should. And I totally understand that. But at what point are you going to start posting the websites and the stores and the places that you get your clothes from? Because your clothes be cute. So instead of just letting everybody know all the negative stuff the stores that's not doing it, how about you start letting people know where you get your cute clothes from? Because that would be more helpful, because that's guiding them and leading them to a place where they can go to get cute fashion for plus size women. And then my second question is, you're like, okay, the store didn't have a 4X. They don't service plus size women. They suck, yada, yada, whoop, whoop. But it's like, okay, what if they have a 4X? What about the woman that needs a 5X? Or is the store just accommodating if they have your size? Because if they have a 4X and that fits you, you're going to be happy with that store. But what about the woman that fits the 5X? She can't get nothing? And so it's just like, what is your standard? Because some people say servicing up to 3X. That means they service plus size women. But to you, no, you want to at least have 4X. So what is the standard that says, okay, this store actually services plus size women? Because everyone's different sizes. People are smaller than you and people are bigger than you. Everybody deserves to wear cute clothes, but it's like, is a limit only if they can fit your size? Or I don't know. I don't get it.
I think most of us can agree that Samyra is just rage baiting with the parking meter, engagement, farming, all the things. I find it so ironic that she's posting about the fatphobic meter being in West Hollywood. Let me tell you, the city of West Hollywood does not care. It is hard out there for those. Do you know how competitive it is to be a gay man in West Hollywood right now? They have to be snatched. The body has to be tea. That might work in the valley. You might get some outrage, but in West Hollywood, they're going to be like, yeah, we are. So are our parking meters.
Oh, Lord, Samyra, girl. Please, you gonna make me apologize to Cardi B at this point, y'all. So, Samyra, you still coming back with the same bullshit. So, y'all, check this out. Samyra, she posted this talking about the meter. The meter is fatphobic. Because the meter says, sometimes I diet. Don't feed me on the following holidays. But Samyra, let me tell you something. You don't have to be fat to go on a fucking diet. What you don't understand, people go all different types, shapes, sizes of people go on diets. So, y'all, at this point, what is fatphobic? What is somebody being fatphobic? What is fatphobia? At this point, because at this point, she making up shit. She is making up shit. Like, I done took up for her with the Cardi B shit. But now, you just throwing this word around on everything, because going on a diet do not equate to, cause y'all, I'm so confused, y'all. Diet don't mean fat. Somebody go on a diet and they can go on diet for other reasons. It's so many. God, like, why is you like this? Why?
The parking meter, let's talk about it. But actually, let's read about it. Now, I am not giving these recommendations for anybody who is determined to be dense and misunderstand anything that I am saying. I am recommending these books to people who genuinely would like to unlearn fat phobia and diet culture. And if that sounds like you, I really do recommend starting with Fearing the Black Body by Sabrina Strings. It talks about the racial origins of fat phobia. Yes, racism and fat phobia do intersect, as everything does. And another great book that talks about that same thing is Belly of the Beast by Deshaun L. Harrison. There are so many other books that talk about this topic. These are just some of them. And of course, I understand why people don't think the parking meter is an issue, because we have been conditioned to think that fat phobia isn't an issue. I think that fat phobia doesn't even exist. It is alive and well. So happy reading. Or to those of you who are not going to partake, do whatever you want. I don't know. Do what you gotta do to convince yourself that fat phobia don't exist.
Did she really use Sarah Bartman as an example? That didn't have to do with fat phobia. It had to do with racism. It irritates me when people try to intertwine the two. You got to make one topic one topic. Are there people out here being rude to people because they're overweight for no reason? Absolutely. But I personally wouldn't consider that fat phobia. And I don't want people to get to the point where they are mixing up diet culture with fat phobia. Like, that's crazy work. Also, I wanted to see, like, how many people have lived long periods of time with being plus. There's plus size, and then there's, like, really, really 300 to 400 pounds and above, 600-pound life type shit, right? That needs to be discussed, because I think the problem with this content creator is she likes to yell fat phobia and all this other stuff, but she's not being honest about how being overweight can affect some people. Do it affect all people? No. There are some people who are really, really like 300 pounds and 400 pounds, but they don't have any medical issues. And then there's some people who are overweight and they have to lose weight. And if they don't lose weight, it will cause them their health and sometimes their life. You have to be honest with that. And trying to justify is saying that things happen to people when they're skinny too. It's not because they're eating a certain way. Some people have medical conditions because they are born that way with the medical conditions. But a lot of times, the majority of the time, when you discover health situations, is connected to weight. Not a lot of times, but you know what I mean, when it considered plus size. Monique was a prime example. She was really big. She was really plus size. She was repping for all the big girls and everything like that. And then all of a sudden she lost weight. Nobody knew why she lost weight. She didn't disclose why she lost weight, but she lost weight. I do personally believe it be a lot of health scares. Even Heavy D, when he was out, he was Heavy D. Everybody was like, oh, woo, woo. To me, when I look at the videos now, Heavy D wasn't even really that big, but that's just my personal opinion. But as the years go on, he got bigger and bigger. Big Boy had to get the surgery to lose all that weight because his health was at risk because he couldn't be that big. Let's be realistic about the situation. Being mean to somebody because they enjoy food and all that other stuff, okay, whatever. That's not appropriate. But just saying that people are fat phobic because they don't want to have to comply to whatever you got going on, like the plane ticket, for example. She got upset because now they're charging people, like if she was to go fly, she has to pay for 2 seats in order to fly. They're no longer letting her get an extender and everything like that. They're not doing that anymore. So what, you either going to buy a ticket for 2 people or you just not going to fly, And she goes on these campaigns. But here is my point. where I'm coming from for this whole video. She can do whatever she wants. She can advocate for whatever she wants. But you don't ever want to advocate so hard to the point where the people that you're supposed to be advocating for are getting sick of you too. Okay, that's where it's like, okay, girl, even the big gals is tired of you. And it's because you're nitpicking at every single situation, and you have to pick your battles, right? You're arguing about weight in Hollywood, okay, where people don't eat. And, it is what it is. You're going to argue that. They're going to look right past it. Nothing's going to change. Don't nobody care. But I do not like the fact that she's trying to make it seem like, it's okay to be big, right? It's cool. It's your life. You do whatever you want. That's your business. But I know people who've gotten bigger and they had to lose weight, including myself. Like, there was a time where blood pressure was getting up there, and you know what I'm saying? Niggas was like, okay, I ain't never hit pre-diabetic status, thank God, but that blood pressure status was getting up there, and it happens. It happens. You get a certain weight, some of the medical conditions start coming in, and you have to lose weight, no matter if you're happy with your size or not. Are you happy with your size, or do you want to be happy with your life as far as living another day? And thank God for Samyra. She says she has no medical conditions, and I'm happy for her, and I hope it stay that way. But you're looking for 4X's and 5X's and things like that. After a certain amount of time, the doctor is going to get on you about your health. It ain't got nothing to do with them being fatphobic. I remember they had a campaign saying Dr. No was fatphobic. But a lot of those people who was on my 600-pound of life, some of them lost weight and survived, and some of them kept eating and they died. And they left behind families. They left behind people. There was a guy who unalived himself because it was too much because his wife kept eating. It's a lot going on. Well, that's what they're saying. I don't know why the man unalived himself, but that was a word on the street. And I want to say she keep her a man because supposedly she got a new boo. Okay, just had a baby. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. The point is, she even lost weight. She's not as big as she was on the show. Because after a certain amount of time, the diabetes kicks in. The high blood pressure kicks in. The fat surrounds your heart. Now, what I've been saying from the jump about people being overweight, this is my take on it. That's not, in my opinion, not spoken about enough. They putting shit in the food. They putting chemicals in the food. I mean, shit. People getting on other companies for not even serving real meat. There is stuff in the food, and it ain't just the fast food. It's stuff in the grocery stores, too, that we cook at home. It's no longer just legit food. They are putting chemicals in certain products and things, antibiotics and all types of shit in our food. That is truly what needs to be discussed, because I don't believe the majority of the people who eat, some of them eat because they're tied to it some way emotionally. Other people eat because, not just because they like to eat. Food is good, but there be certain chemicals, in my opinion, that get you this way. This is why I believe that people are getting upset about the Wegovy shots and the Zepbound shots and everything like that, because it's a lot of people who've been losing weight and losing those medical conditions tied to it because of it. And, now they're trying to, this is my personal thing. This is just my opinion. I believe that the pharmaceutical companies and the food industry is beefing. No pun intended. Okay. I believe they beefing. I believe that the shot prevents a lot of people from eating the junk. So that's hurting sales and stuff like that. But it not only is it hurting sales, it's affecting medicine too. But Wegovy medicine and Zepbound and all those injections makes bigger money, makes bigger income, makes bigger bank for these companies. The companies who have to do the diabetic medication as far as insulin and everything might lose sales if these people aren't type 2. You get what I'm saying? Not the ones born type 1. When you born that way, unless you go see what Dr. Sebi's stuff is talking about, and look on different horizons and try to fix it and really get at it, that's just probably what it's going to be, right? But we're not talking about those. We're talking about diabetes and health risk connected to weight gain. Just those. Just speaking specifically against those. That's where the pharmaceuticals come in. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like, in my personal opinion, that they putting cancer in a lot of this stuff too. That's just my opinion. I feel like they putting stuff in the food. So I understand Samyra's point. Like, don't be treating nobody messed up just because they overweight. That's crazy. That's a waste of time. But let's not go to the point to where we just doing a lot. Oh, you only got one door. You ain't got two doors, so I can't fit through. You fatphobic. When it gets to shit like that, that's when you just need to relax. When you're getting mad at the meter because the meter says feed and you connecting that to being a plus size, that's when you need to back up. I don't care how many books you pull out to read to make yourself feel better. At the end of the day, if you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you your heart is going to stop in this amount of weeks or this amount of time, if you don't lose at least this amount of pounds, you're going to try to do that. Because do you want to eat or do you want to live? I guarantee you, and I'm going to be honest with you, the majority of people that I see plus size are younger people. When they get a certain age, they start to lose the weight. Even Lizzo. I believe Lizzo had to lose weight because health-wise, it was starting to become risky for her. Okay, that's just my opinion about it. And a lot of people that I seen plus size when they were younger, as they got older, had to switch up their diet because the doctor done said something to them. And for the ones who are really, really big and they don't have any health risks, congratulations. But according to this report, being obese is the same equivalency to having cigarettes every single day. Good grief. That's crazy work. That's according to this website. And because I was curious to look at the life expectancy when it comes to obesity and stuff like that. You know, but again, like I said, I feel like it has something to do with the food that they put in the food, restaurants, grocery stores, yada, 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 snacks, all of that. And that's just my opinion on it. The sodas and everything like that, they be having stuff like that because, to be honest with y'all know 80s babies and 90s kids, y'all know the food that we was eating as kids does not taste the same. The cereal don't taste the same. None of that stuff tastes the same. And in my opinion, there were more overweight kids now than they were then. You get what I'm saying? So for all the sugar and all this other stuff that they tried to demonize back in the day, a lot of the kids weren't fat unless it was just us outside playing. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Tell me what y'all think about this whole situation in the comments. I'm out.
We in a no hyena zone. Anti-hyena zone.